Sorry about that. Yeah, sir. Yeah, 1 million, 1.5, and then I'll call you back later. Okay, I gotta go. Okay. All right, we live? All right, guys. Welcome to the Tony Real Estate Podcast. So today, thank you for tuning in today, live on Facebook as well, and for those who are watching this replay later on YouTube or some other platforms. Today, I'm joined by, of course, Marissa Garcia here.
Yes.
How you doing, Marissa?
Good. How are you, Tony?
Doing great. And of course, our guest, the man of the hour over here, Dr. Albert Hogan. How you doing?
Excellent, you guys. Excellent. Thank you very much for asking.
Well, appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to joining us today.
I enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
So before we get started and get to know Al here, we'll kind of get started. I'd like to kind of go over, since our last subject, I think what we talked about a couple of weeks ago, following what we talked 2 weeks ago. And today we'll kind of continue with that and also talk about different strategies. As always, we like to give you guys tips and strategies, not only in real estate, but in business, but also in life. And that's why I like to bring also, some of my business partner, like Dr. Hogan here, so he can give us some valuable tips and strategies that can help some of our viewers here.
Absolutely.
All right. So before we get into the business, let's kind of like recap what's going on since the last 2 weeks. Since the last 2 weeks, I think the Lakers won?
Did they?
They won the championship, right?
Again?
Hey,
Amazing.
See, I predicted in 2020, before 2020 happened, that this will be the year the Lakers and the Dodgers win.
My goodness.
So one down, and guess who's in the World Series?
How about that?
Dodgers.
How about them Dodgers, right?
Being down 3 games to one in that national championship series. What a comeback! I honestly, Tony, I've been watching those guys, and they've been my team forever, and they just seem to be, I don't know, not really mentally courageous or strong. They seem to just fold. But this year, they have a completely different attitude, and I am impressed. And to me, baseball has always been, 70% mental and 30% physical, and they're starting to play with their heads instead of their backs. And I think that could make a big difference in the World Series for them this year. So, man, they've got my vote, and I'm hoping that, that whole team. And I mentioned that story to you about Turner. He told the guys, hey, what are you guys worried about? We have this amazing opportunity to do something that no other Dodger team has ever done. So don't even think about losing, because we're going to win. And he got them all to buy in. They were all texting each other. And that's what I'm talking mentally. It's all about attitude. And it's all about that mindset of, no, losing is not an option. Okay. And that goes for all our businesses and everything else. And, people that we meet up, we want to encourage them to be successful, because that's the way we're designed. We were designed to be successful. We were not designed to ever be anything but successful. So, sometimes there's speed bumps in the way. Sometimes life happens. And when doesn't life happen? It happens all the time. So let it happen and be ready for it, and be ready to adjust. Just like all the adjustments you guys have made in real estate, all the adjustments that I've made in my hypnotherapy practice about, I can do Zoom sessions over the phone. I can do cell phone sessions. I can do whatever works for anybody to make sure they get the help that they need. And it's always about being out there for them. It's like the Dodgers seems to be this year, instead of a team of individuals, maybe they finally gelled as a team, and they're really, focused on taking care of each other instead of worrying about statistics. Because to me, that was another thing that was bogging them down. They don't play smart baseball. They're swinging for the fences every time they get a chance. And what happens is, they come up against pitchers that threw a lot of different junk at them, change ups and a lot of different off speed stuff. And so they look foolish up at the plate because they're all over swinging, instead of, okay, I need to settle back down and be smart. And that's a big change I saw in Bellinger. When he hit that home run to win the game for them, the swing that hit the home run didn't impress me. The thing that impressed me was he fouled off, I think it was 4 different pitches that were right around the strike zone. And instead of letting him go by and having the umpire make a bad call and call him out, he just kept on fouling the balls off until the pitcher made one mistake. And then he swung, and as soon as he swung, the ball was already gone when it came off his bat. There was just no doubt.
You know what pitch that was?
No.
The 8th pitch.
Was it
Kobe was there.
Oh, Kobe.
8th pitch.
Oh, Kobe took care of it.
And you know who tied the game out? Kike Hernandez, right?
Yeah.
You know what pitch he hit the home run on?
No.
8th pitch.
Oh, Lord. Go Kobe. The Mamba strikes.
The Mamba strikes. That's why I said, hey, you know, that's why I wasn't worried when they were down 3-1. I was actually, I told my friend, you know, I can't say his name here, but you know, it's like, hey, what's the odds of the Dodgers coming back? Because I was going to put money on the Dodgers coming back when they were down 3-1, because I knew that they had a good chance. Even though they were behind, I was confident that they were still going to actually pull it off. So, and that's just something that we'll talk about. I know you kind of pretty much talked gave some good points here, and we'll kind of elaborate here a little bit later how to be a successful realtor, lender, successful in your business, or just have a successful life. Is some of the different strategies. And that's why, you know, for those who follow me on podcasts or listen to me, when they do end up listening to me, and when I give some of my tips and strategy, I like to relate a lot of stuff to sports, because you can really learn a lot from sports just by, you know, how they handle things, you know, how they manage a game too.
Sure.
You know, we'll talk about that, how David Roberts managed the game, the last game, compared to the previous year. Because sometimes you got to learn from your mistakes in order to be successful. You know, a lot of people want to be successful right away. They want to be a successful real estate agent, be a successful hypnotherapist, or whatever field you're in. But sometimes you got to go through the struggles. You got to go through the headaches. And I think, like you were pointing out, I think that's why I'm very confident the Dodgers have a good chance here, because they've already experienced the defeat. They've already experienced the mistakes. And guess what happens? I mean, real quick, and we'll move forward. Why do you think I knew the Braves were going to lose? Because they're young. They haven't been there since 1999. And guess what? They still haven't been there since 1999 to the World Series. But I was looking at their players. Have the players been there before? Yeah. All their pitchers were rookies. Most of their pitchers were rookies. So that alone, I knew the Dodgers, the longer the series would go, had the advantage. Even the Dodgers, even when they started the first 2 games, they knew the longer they can extend the series, they had the upper hand, because they had the experience. And guess what happened in the experience? Even the Dodgers made a mistake in the beginning, because all the runs were given by rookies, right? Dustin May and was like Gonsolin. But once they put their more experienced players, they got in a better routine, right? Even Urias, he's been there before. This isn't his first rodeo, right?
Sure.
So, and that's the thing. And if you notice the Braves, for those who are Brave fans, sorry, but I'm gonna pick on you. They were up, right? They were up. What was it? 2-0, 3-0, 3-1.
2. I think it was 2-0. Yeah, 2-0.
All right, and then they were up 3-2. They made some mistakes.
Oh.
I mean, second and third, nobody out. I think they were 3-2 there.
Yeah.
Second and third. They put a new pitcher. So the Dodgers, let's put this in perspective. Usually, for those who don't watch baseball, second and third, nobody out. Usually, teams will put their infield in because they don't want to run score. The Dodgers put their infield back. They were willing to give a run to the Braves because they did not want it to be a big inning. I was like hoping, okay, just let these 2 runs in. We're only down 5-2,
right? And
we still have a chance. I was already thinking, okay, as long as we don't extend this inning, we have a chance. But guess what happened? Second and third, hitter hits a ground ball to third to a double play, right? I don't know, play by play. He tags out the guy, comes home, gets him out, and the other guy from second tries to go to third and tags him. Double play in the second and third. Let's put this in perspective for those who I believe in stats. What are the odds, second and third, that a batter is going to hit to a double play at that point?
That's got to be pretty rare.
Pretty rare. And that's where inexperience come into play. Because second and third, like, come on, really? So, I mean, there was other mistakes throughout the game, and we point that, and that's the same mistakes that the Dodgers have made in previous years. I've been following the Dodgers for a while myself, and I've seen them make the same mistakes. But that's through experience. But this year, they were calm. Second and third, there's like, no big deal. We can play the infield bad because we know we still have a chance. There was no because, and this is one thing, if they had the infield in, this is where managers make their money.
Yeah.
If they had the infield in, that would have been a base hit.
That would have scored 2 runs.
That would score 2 runs.
That would
Just
score
that,
2.
that little tweak. You understand? People don't think understand that. I've been talking about second and third. Most managers would have put the infield in.
Yeah.
That hard line drive would have scored 2 runs.
Tony, you were talking about the inexperience on the part of the Braves, but the experience on the part of the Dodgers were, that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Turner never even hesitated. As soon as he had the ball, he turned and threw it to home plate. And I didn't see the live action. I saw it on tape delay, and I said, "Wow, what?" Because I wasn't expecting anybody from third to go home. There's just no way. So not only does he make the tag of the runner going home, he has the wherewithal and the experience and mindset to turn and throw to third base because somebody's supposed to be there. And that somebody also 2 years ago was a rookie and did a great job, but he's experienced now, so he covered third, and that's the way they were able to double that up. Because if he's not there, Turner says, "I'm throwing it anyway. It's going into left field." But guess who's standing there? Our shortstop where he's supposed to be. So again, that's why to me baseball is 70% mental, 30% physical. Those guys each were thinking about what to do, and they thought about it, and they moved instantaneously without really sitting there and analyzing it. They knew what to do. Turner was going to run the guy or tag the guy trying to score and turn and throw the ball at third to see if they could double him up. And both those base runners, the guy at third and the guy at second, both made huge mental errors. Huge mental errors. The guy from second should have already been standing on third base when the guy from third broke home.
Yeah.
And that's where he made his mistake. He ran back to second.
He hesitated.
Yeah, and then tried to go back to third, and that's where the only reason they were able to double them up. So that's all about experience. That's all about mindset. It's all about, mentality and, staying mentally in the game. Yeah. And, that's the other thing that I think the Dodgers do this year better than they're staying mentally in the game, not just physically, but mentally in the game.
Yeah.
And that's that experience you've been talking about.
That's perfect. And that's what lead us into, continue with our subject and conversation, because a lot of things in life is experience or inexperience. A lot of people, successes, and sometimes you got to go through it. And I always try to share with Marissa, she's, for those who don't know Marissa, followed her journey. She's a new, up and coming, she's getting ready to get her real estate license. And of course, the best way to learn is to experience. I told her, you got to experience this. And I know people don't like to see mistakes happen, but unfortunately, mistakes are going to happen. You got to live with it as a coach, as a manager in sports, even as a parent. Our kids are not going to be perfect, right? They're going to make mistakes. They're going to get injured. Yeah, we want them to grow up and never get, get any scabs or any injuries at all. But that's how they learn, right? Just like when we were younger. I mean, this is a true story. You know how I learned an iron was hot?
By touching it?
I touched it. Yeah, that was me, guys. So I was like,
Let me just see what this does.
I mean, it's cold now. Like, how does this turn hot? I was like, all of a sudden, oh, yeah, it's hot. I'm never doing that again.
And the same thing with getting your finger slammed in a car door. That usually only happens one time.
Oh, well, it did happen a couple of times for me. Sorry.
Only happened to me
Hey,
once.
man, come on. Why are you guys driving away? And then they're driving away. Like, really? So, but it's all about inexperience and experience. And that's what we'll kind of talk about more as we talk about, different strategies, different tips on how to manage, success, in life. Because we all have a different journey. I would say everybody's journey is different. Your journey, my journey, Marissa's journey, Jaime's journey over here is different. We all have a different journey. Success means different for everybody. But, but at the end of the day, a lot of the different strategies, the mindset, you can find that in a lot of successful people. And that's what we'll talk about today. So, all right. So before we go into that, so Marissa, let's get to know, Al Hogan. I know you said you had some questions for him.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I just wanted to know, how long have you been doing hypnotherapy?
I've been doing hypnotherapy now for 4 years. I just had an opportunity to learn about hypnotherapy. And so I got really interested in it. And I've always been a people person. I like to help people. I don't like to struggle myself.
Mhm.
So I don't like to see other people struggling. So this was one way to help myself, because all hypnosis is self hypnosis. So eventually my patients learn to hypnotize themselves, and they learn how powerful their inner minds are. Because right now, as we're sitting around the table here, we're using our conscious mind. And if our conscious mind could fix any issues like anxiety or any of our other issues, it already would have fixed it. So there's something in the inner minds, the unconscious mind or subconscious mind, that could be blocking and holding us, hostage, holding ourselves hostage.
Yeah.
So we go in there and try and get a release from that particular root cause and help people get better. So I just thought that was a great opportunity, and so I took it up, and then I was fortunate enough to get a master's degree, and then even more fortunate enough to get a PhD in clinical hypnotherapy. So I'm not just a hypnotist. I didn't go for a weekend course, and
Yeah.
I'm a certified hypnotist. But
Yeah.
I really believe this. It's ancient. It's back from it started in the 1700s, but there's new technology, and I'm also getting myself certified in CBT and NLP. So I can offer so many different tools to help people help themselves, because all anybody wants to do, especially during this darn pandemic, is remain calm. Because I'm seeing more and more patients that are suffering from OCD, that's obsessive compulsive disorders, and that's because all the isolation. It's because of all the extra hand cleaning and mask wearing and all these extra rules that we've never had in our lifetime, and now we have all these rules and regulations, and nobody's comfortable with it. So I'm seeing a lot of patients suffering from that disorder. But it's all about helping people, understand that they can control their anxiety or depression. And a lot of times, they're only, unfortunately, seeing people in the medical field that are just offering them, here, take this medication. And medication is okay for emergencies. The problem I have with it, and the problem most people have with it, is, there's so many side effects that really, sort of make a person completely different than who they are. And, they're worried about, what's happening with my kidneys, what's happening with my liver, what's happening with my heart, all of these chemicals. Yeah.
Well, not only that, these medications are only like temporary. Like you take them and they only work for that one moment or that day.
Right. They don't fix anything.
Mm-hmm.
They mask most everything. They get them past through the painful, and uncomfortable times that they're having while this particular disease has, got them really tied up in knots. But it doesn't fix anything. But it certainly gives them some relief. But it's only meant to be temporary. Yeah. And so, you hate to see people taking medication for the rest of their lives, because that's where it can get pretty damaging. I mean, you literally die from the cure, instead of the ailment of the disease.
Dang. So is there a lot of what patients do you experience the most right now, like with the pandemic? Is it mostly like the OCD type of thing? Is it anxiety, stress? Like, what is it that you see most in your clients right now?
Yeah, with the pandemic going on, I see a lot of people suffering from anxiety and depression, and what that triggers is old unhealthy habits. People are going back to smoking cigarettes.
What they tried to stop before.
Yeah, or they have stopped before. Or they're drinking to excess. Which that used to be an old ailment.
Yeah.
Or they're doing, different kinds of chemicals to help them feel better. Again, it's temporary, like we were saying. And then also, there's other people that can't sleep. I'm seeing some people now that are having real difficulties in sleep. And anxiety is what sort of triggers it. And they say, well, no, that's not really anxiety. Well, no, it can be, because all you do is worry about, am I going to be able to sleep? And once you start having difficulty in sleep, then you just decide, well, I'm not going to sleep. Well, you can't not sleep.
Yeah.
You've got to take care. Your body and brain and everything needs that so badly. So, that's where I'm helping a lot of people right now. And gosh, if we don't learn anything in 2020, we certainly should learn about how important our health is.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how much money you have.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to Steve Jobs. Well, you can't do that anymore because he's gone now. With all the money he had, they couldn't fix his particular problem. And so it's all about health. And I'm talking about not only physical health, but emotional health, because I don't like to talk too much about mental health because it has such a negative connotation. So, let's try to get the emotional issues squared away so it doesn't turn into mental, difficulties. So,
Well, that's good. I mean, I deal with not exactly anxiety because I wouldn't say like it's something that I need to like go see someone for, but like I do feel like those symptoms of like anxiety, like not feeling well, like getting shaky, all this stuff. What would you say would be the best way to deal with that without like just on your own, like not having someone there, or well, I mean, in the sense of like not having a hypnotherapist or having a therapist in general? Like how would you recommend someone to deal with that?
Okay. What I'm also seeing is, unfortunately, a lot of people overthinking. So people are overthinking, I've got to have the perfect plan before I do anything. What does that do? That keeps them stagnant. They don't get up. They don't move. They don't do anything because they're fearful. So that's the worst thing you can do. Get up.
Do something.
Do something. Again, here's a great opportunity during this pandemic to develop new skills, new abilities. Go online, learn something new. Give yourself something challenging to do. Exercise. And I don't care what you do. Is it swimming? Is it yoga? Get up and move so that your body is giving, moving your blood around so you're getting, oxygenated blood. So it's good blood. It's healthy blood. It's in there, helping you instead of slowing you down and bogging you down. So it's all about mindset. I think the most important thing that I try and help everybody is just help yourself. Count your blessings. Are you vertical today?
Yes.
That's super important.
Yeah.
That is such a big deal. That's like, oh man, I get another chance to do something great today. Instead of, oh man, I get another chance to do nothing today.
Yeah.
What?
Because if you think about it, there's a lot of people going through worse. We wake up vertical. There's a lot of other people that don't or can't wake up vertical sometimes.
No, their last day was yesterday.
Yeah.
So, and it's all, people complaining about exercising. I see, people at Progressive Health and Performance where I have my office, and those guys, I am so impressed. They're really helping me rehab with my knee replacement. And I am so impressed because they just don't take people to show them how to exercise. They take people that have disabilities and they're bringing them back, and they show them, even though you have this disability, you can exercise. Your body needs this so it can help you remain healthy, because, we have occasionally, viruses like this, COVID, that, can be very dangerous. So the healthier you are, the more you're able to fight this disease off. And then they have people that in there that, okay, I'm tired of sitting around. I need to get up and I need to move. So they have particular programs for them. And the gifted athletes that, they also work with those guys. They do an amazing job. But exercise is so important. And I hate to say diet because it has a negative connotation. But, an eating regimen that's reasonable. Yeah. Because we all see, memes and jokes about, how we all eat 24 hours a day with the pandemic going on because we're stuck in our home. Well, we're really not stuck in our home, but we choose to be there. So it's all about eating sensibly. If you're moving less, you shouldn't be eating more. Yeah. You should be eating less. It's all about common sense. It's all about mindset. So again, with hypnotherapy, there's a lot of things that we can do to help ourselves instead of depending on everybody else to make it better. Yeah. People go to the doctor, people show up at my office and say, okay, well, you're supposed to fix me.
You got to fix yourself. Actually, I'm just here to help.
That's your job. I'm here to help you understand that you have the ability to heal yourself. So, when you go to a doctor, for a broken bone, does he heal the bone? No, I do. Okay, he sets it for sure, and he gives you medication for discomfort, but you heal the bone. that's your own body.
Yeah.
You know, you have an ability to heal yourself, not only emotionally but physically. So take every advantage of it. You know, sometimes we forget, and you know that's the other thing to help people with. So there's a lot. It's all about mindset in the way we handle our business, mindset in the way we handle COVID, mindset in the way we handle our own health. You know, it's all about where people get all strung up with anxiety is they're all consumed with their past. They're all worried about the future. So how can they enjoy the day?
Yeah, you can't.
You can't enjoy the day. You can't function because you're so worried about your past and you know the things that happened to you, and that you're worried so worried about tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's not promised to us. Only today, and so we might as well make the best of today. And what did we learn from our past? Because that's the only thing we can bring forward. I had a really humbling experience, a very courageous